And we're live.
Episode 10?
I don't know. What episode is this?
I think it's episode 10.
Is it?
I think so. Last one was 9.
Yep, episode 10.
Episode 10. So, what's been going on in the grid-free world today? Or this week?
Not much, really. We've just been hanging out, trying to catch some rays and praying that the wind would blow to generate some electricity. Just the normal stresses of living off-grid.
Oh, yeah. It's been just terribly stressful.
Because the wind never blows here and the sun...
No, never shines.
What's that?
Yeah, I guess power really, hasn't been an issue this year for us, which is good.
No, we're kicking it with 500 watts.
Woohoo! Whoop, whoop. Okay. So our ant bed, update on our ant bed. So before we had started our video last week, we had an ant bed spring up in the bedroom in the garden bed. But we had poured some vinegar on it. So it's taken all week for them to spring back up, and they just have. So we have put out the borax and sugar as a viewer suggested. I believe his name was Curtis, as Curtis suggested, and so now we're just waiting to see how that works. So maybe we'll have an update next week, because we just did that yesterday because they just didn't spring back up for a good week.
Yeah, we didn't sprinkle it actually on them. We just got a little
we got a little
lid,
tray, a little lid,
and put it in that and put it kind of beside the ant bed and didn't try not to disturb them.
Yeah, so
we'll see if they
go for
what
it.
happens. I'm not sure. I mean, they may not be feeding right now.
I have no idea.
Who knows? I don't know what goes on in the world of ants.
Probably pretty interesting. So yeah, that's an update on that. Okay, so I guess yesterday we decided to go into town, into La Vida.
Have a hamburger?
And have a
No,
hamburger.
cheeseburger. We had cheeseburger.
So we decided to go into town and get something to eat. And the way we go, there's always, we can see in this field, there's an Earthship in this field. And the gate is always locked. And there's closer to the driveway, there's a Modular Home. And so then far back behind that is this Earthship. Yeah, we always look at it. We want to go check it out. But the gate's locked. It's private property. We're not going to trespass. And yesterday, when we were coming home from getting a hamburger, the gate was open.
We noticed the gate was open.
So, Charlie kind of stops. He's like, I was like, well, let's just go knock on the door. I figure nothing ventured, nothing gained. I mean, all they can say is no. So, because there was no vehicles at the actual Earthship, it was at the Modular Home. And so we knocked on the door and find out that the guy who lives in the Modular Home is one who's building the Earthship. And I guess he started building it 14 years ago.
No, before that.
Oh, he started building it before that.
He started 4 years before that, but it's been sitting for 14 years.
It's been sitting for 14 years.
He ran out of money. He said that he got he got the tires done, and then he had
it framed out.
And he had a roof put on it. And the front glass was done, and then he ran out of money, and apparently it's been sitting there for 14 years now, and
yeah, so it's not finished. The inside's not finished, not even remotely finished at all. And turns out they're having roof leak problems, same as us, except their roof is, we have a pretty wide channel.
Yeah, our Earthship is actually actually done by Michael Reynolds. The actual plans is actually a Michael Reynolds design, where his is not.
Right.
It's not. It's somebody else designed it. Somebody in Colorado Springs did that one.
Yeah, and on his roof, the channel is steep and narrow. And so what's happening is when it snows and slightly melts and refreezes at night, and that ice has got nowhere to go, and it's warping and moving the channel around, and that's causing his leaking issues. I think ours is simply just, from all the animals that have been up there.
Yeah, ours is from bears.
Kitty cats.
Because, and cats, but mainly bears. What happens is after it rains and stuff, in some spots, the water kind of still sits there, and they come up there to get some water, to get a drink, and they paw, bears, they paw, and they would tear up the membrane, the rubber lining membrane that sits on it, and that will cause leaks in the house because, well, the bear just put a, hole in it.
So we talked to them for, we
talked
for a while. Really nice people, and that's one thing it seems about Earthship. It's like we are in a new community of people because it's like Earthship people are.
Well, people are.
They were really nice.
Most people are nice.
Well, most people are nice, but they're always happy to show off their Earthships. I think.
Yeah, because it's we have something in common.
Right.
Therefore, it's easy to start a conversation.
Yeah.
It's just like anything else. If you have familiar with certain things, or you do the same thing or something like that, it's easy to start a conversation and to actually talk with people that you have common interest in,
So, and it turns out, we found out that they had actually been in our Earthship long ago when they were looking into them to begin with.
Yeah, the very first Earthship they stayed in was Dennis Weaver's in Colorado. Here, it's a 2-story one, huge.
I think it's called Star.
5,000. I can't remember how many.
It's huge.
I think it's like
huge.
At least 5,000 square feet, I believe. I know it's 2-story, and it's beautiful. Unfortunately, he's no longer alive, but that I would love to go see that Earthship, and in fact, we probably will. This summer, we're going to make an effort to visiting different Earthships and different people that live off grid.
Mm-hmm. Not just Earthships.
Yeah, we want to talk with them. We want to, just hear their stories. Because everybody has a story. And out here, people come out here and live off grid for all different kinds of reasons. It's not. Most people think, well, people do stuff like this because of the government, or they're afraid of this, or they're afraid of. That's not really true. Everybody has their own reasons that we've talked to so far, and they're always different and interesting. A lot of them are interesting.
So we're gonna make an effort to visit people and hear their stories. Mm-hmm. So anyway, they had stayed in Dennis Weaver's when they were first looking into it, and they spent the night. And the lady we had talked to, she said that she was worried because they got to their room and there was just a sheet on the bed.
Yeah, they just had a sheet.
And it was February, and she's like, I can't handle the cold. And she had told her husband that, if it's too chilly for me in an Earthship, we can't build one because I can't handle being cold. Because she has had some hand surgeries, and the cold affects that. And so when they got to their room, they saw that just a sheet on the bed, nothing else. They're like, oh my God! So they were trying to make sure everything around them was closed, right? And what they say, after a couple hours, it was about midnight.
Yeah, what seems to happen, or what tends to happen in an Earthship at night, when you first go to bed and stuff, at first it just seems kind of cool. So it'll seem kind of cool, but when the temperature drops below a certain degree outside, all of a sudden it's like the walls just wake up and heat starts being released from the wall
and the floor,
and it's almost like turning on a thermostat all of a sudden, and it just so you get covered up, and you're like, and then about an hour or so later, you're like, whoa, it's hot in here. So
you
not hot.
Yeah, it's not hot, but
you take the blankets off.
Yeah, you had more blankets than you needed.
Right,
you just, and that's exactly what she described. She said it was about midnight, 1 o'clock, and oh my God, they started trying to open everything up because they just felt a little too warm. Mm-hmm. But it turns out that they had stopped by here a long time ago just to, see if they could see the place, and
that's our Earthship.
That's our Earthship.
When it was first built.
When it was first built, it was about a year old. We figured out, and the people who had built it, or had it built, they were here and they invited them and they had dinner and so they got to see the place. And so when we got home yesterday, Charlie just had this, he's like, man, I recognize their names. Now, when we bought this place, it was as is, and everything in it, fully furnished. I mean, there was personal items, there was Christmas cards, and I mean, it's just like they walked away. We got rid of a lot of stuff, but we did keep this, okay? And we found this, and
it's a guest book.
It's a guest book from the original owners. So last night after we got home, Charlie had pulled it and started going through the guest list, and it turns out that this couple that we met, they were here on September 26, 1998.
Yep.
They had dinner in our Earthship with the original owners. So that was kind of cool. And they know a couple that live somewhere outside of Westcliff, which is about an hour from here. And they're going to call them and see about introducing us to them, and they have an Earthship. And from what I understand, the gentleman is a pretty good carpenter. And the lady is an adobadera.
Adobadera.
A woman who works with adobe. So I am really interested in seeing if maybe I can spend some time, hopefully, with her, if we hit it off. And maybe she can teach me how to do adobe and stuff, because we want to redo the walls in here. And I just think I would be fascinated. I would love to just go out and hang out and, spend time during the summer, even if it's just helping her, learning how to work with adobe and Cobb and stuff. So I'm pretty excited about that. I hope that we get to meet them. They're going to try to give them a call, and maybe we all drive out there Saturday, they were talking about, if they can get a hold of them. So
yeah, we'll see.
I like Westcliff anyway. I think Westcliff's a neat little town.
Yeah. There's a lot of really nice towns in Colorado.
They're just cute,
beautiful
little,
towns.
neat towns with their own histories and their own people, and it's just, lots of stories. And so I'm excited about that. I hope that this lady will be willing to teach me if I'm willing to come out there and spend, some weekends learning and
just talk with different people. And like I said, we want to talk with different people. We want to learn their experience, and that's how you learn new things and get new ideas and stuff like that. It's kind of like him, He was asking me about his main problem was that he's run across is batteries, and he's just had problems with batteries. And I was like, well, your main problem is you're using lead acid batteries. Lead acid batteries,
they're
that's
old technology.
They're junk. I'm sorry, it doesn't matter what you do. And people are like, well, they'll last me 5 years. Well, that's great, but that's still not good enough. You want something that will last not 5 years, something that will last forever. And with what I'm using now with this lithium polymer cells, they will last forever. And I have no doubt in my mind they'll last us the rest of our lives. Because I don't overcharge them, and I don't over-discharge them. I don't stress them at all. There's no stress put on these batteries at all, and they can handle tons of stress. But I don't put any on all, and they'll last forever. And the main reason why I know this is these exact same cells are sitting right now on Mars on a couple of rovers that have been running for
they were
years?
given 3 months.
Yeah, they were given 3 months to live, and it's been 12 plus years and years and years, and they're still running around up there.
That's pretty exciting.
And it's the exact same concept. They don't put stress on the batteries up there. They charge them slow, and they discharge them slow. They don't. There's not a lot of amps coming out. Like our amps on our house at any given time is about 6 amps. And if we are running the washer or dryer or anything like that, it may get up to 10 or 20 amps.
Yeah, because
Well,
yesterday I did.
When I had this in my car, the batteries in my car, my electric car, I was pulling anywhere, just driving down the road normally, I was pulling at least 500 amps. And then whenever I would drag race, I was pulling over 1,000 amps out of these batteries. And, you know, they can do it. It's no problem.
Yeah.
So there's no stress on the batteries at all. And that's one thing that I, told him. I was like, because he was like, well, how much do them cost? And I was like, well, we paid about $5,000 for our battery bank about.
But that also
10 years ago
had that awful battery management system
well, that's,
in it.
I mean, the cells, even right now, the cells run about, they run about $130 a cell, and we have the battery bank that we're running right now is 40 cells.
Oh, okay.
So that's how I come up with that.
Yeah.
As far as cost wise. So that's what you can do. And that gives us 12 kilowatts of power. And in this Earthship, we only use about 3 kilowatts a day. Is what we use. I mean, that's just normal. That's without trying to save anything.
Yeah.
So I'm really happy with that, and that's probably the best thing I think that can happen with Earthships is these new batteries.
Yeah. So I guess our lettuce bed is doing pretty good. Charlie will probably be doing a video on the aeroponics bed he set up because now he has the results, so he can.
Yeah, my lettuce is finally completely grown. I didn't want to do a video without showing the results.
Seedlings. So.
Right.
We might be getting an orange on the orange tree.
Yeah, that's another thing he was saying. He was saying that the man that a guy he had helping him do some of the work inside. He carried around this little orange tree with him everywhere he went. It was like his little orange tree. And, he would just, apparently he went place to place doing odd jobs and stuff like that. He was a carpenter or, a mason or whatever. Anyway, he had this orange tree, and while he was there and he was working in the Earthship, he brought the orange tree and had it sitting in there, and he said that year he got his first orange off of it. Yeah. Little orange. So we're kind of excited about that. Our orange tree's doing very good.
It's doing really, really well, and I really think that we might have at least one orange on it that has fertilized into an orange. So I'm gonna keep an eye on that.
Yeah.
It's pretty exciting.
It's a Washington
dwarf navel
orange tree. So we'll see how that goes. But everything else seems to be doing
it's getting
really good.
Sunnier and sunnier, and that's always nice.
Yeah, and like with the lettuce has taken a little longer to grow because this has been dead winter, so we haven't had as much sun, so it's grown slower. But now that the sun's starting to get more and more sun, it's really starting to take off, and now it's about ready. We're going to start eating off of it, so we're going to start having fresh lettuce, and then with the aeroponic system. Now we should never have to even buy it again.
Yeah, I think that will be okay now that we got that worked out.
Yeah.
But that was a fun adventure that we weren't planning for yesterday. We really enjoyed it, just stopping and meeting somebody, and then find out they've been in our Earthship, signed a guest book like 18 and a half years ago.
Yeah, I mean, if you look on here.
Well, I didn't want to put their names.
Well, I know, but you can see all the people that have stayed.
Yeah.
We have 1, 2, 3.
You have like 4 pages.
Like 4 pages three
and a
full
half.
pages.
3 full pages.
Of guests that have actually stayed here.
And most of them are from around the area, from up to Denver, Pueblo, in Colorado. But there's some from Kentucky, from Ohio, Florida.
We had some
Georgia.
Florida. Yeah, Florida. A
Um,
lot of Colorado, Florida.
Yeah, there's Georgia. Louisville, Kentucky.
Yeah.
There's an Ohio one I saw. So, I mean, there have been people from all over the place in
This
here.
one says Louisville.
That should be Kentucky.
Okay, is that going to be in Kentucky? I don't know. There's a Louisville in Texas too.
Oh, well, that's right. Well, you could
But
look it up by
the zip code. It's not.
Maybe
That's
Texas.
not a Texas zip code.
It could be.
Is it?
I don't know. We just have to look up the zip code to see
I don't
exactly
recognize
where.
that. Actually, that zip code
Could be Colorado.
could be Colorado. Looks like a Colorado one. I don't know. Maybe there's a Louisville, Colorado somewhere.
Maybe so.
Ohio.
Yeah, Ohio, Florida.
So yeah, we've had a lot of people that have stayed here in the past, and so when they were here, they actually saw it when it was actually brand spanking new.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't but a year old at that point.
You know.
Um,
So, what else we got going on? Not much today.
No, I mean, like I said, we had that little surprise adventure. You're going to be doing your video on the aeroponics very soon so I can start eating that lettuce. Yeah.
It looks good.
It does look good. I want to eat it, but I can't eat it until he makes the video. But yeah, that's pretty much it. The wind's been blowing a lot as normal.
But it's warmed up a lot. Well, the last few days have been warmer.
Yeah.
It's been getting in the 60s.
Saw a herd of elk. That's one thing I love about living out here. It's just the animals. There's just a lot of elk, and almost got stuck in a turkey traffic jam. But thankfully they decided to stay off the road.
Oh, look what I found out here. I found this out on our property.
Somebody's used it for target practice, but
Yeah,
other than that, we're not really sure what it was.
it's a. I believe it's an old bedpan. But what do they call it?
Chamber pot?
Chamber pot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe it's an old chamber pot. I'm not sure how old it is. But
One of these days, if we ever get a metal detector,
yeah,
we'll scour the property and see what treasures we can find.
yeah, we have out here. So far we've located 3 different graves on our property, and more than likely they're Indian graves.
Or
Could be
settler
early
graves.
settlers, but more than likely they're probably going to be, because they're not marked or anything. So that's why I'm saying they're Indian graves. They're covered with stone, and that's how you know it's a grave, because all of a sudden you have these stones that are piled up that are about 6 feet long.
Yeah.
And they're all apparently these graves are all over out
This
this area. But we have 3 that are actually on our property.
That we found.
Yeah, and just last week I found a new one that's really close to the house. There was a bush that was growing on it, so you couldn't really, see it. It was hidden.
I still want to know about the rock with the X.
Yeah.
I found a rock,
It has
granite
X
rock
carved in it.
that has an X carved in it.
Yeah.
A granite, and I just happened to, we were out hiking, and I just happened to kind of squat down to tie my shoe, and I just looked over, and there was this X, this rock under the tree that has a granite rock with an X carved in it.
Yeah, we don't know what that's about.
I want to know what that's about. So yeah, not a whole lot going on this week, but we do want to talk about our fun little adventure yesterday, because that was just totally off the cuff, and it was neat. And then finding out they had been in our Earthship, had dinner in our Earthship.
Yeah.
You know, and we have their name in a book. That was kind of neat. So
yeah, it's kind of cool meeting somebody that.
I'm keeping my fingers crossed to meet the Adobadera lady.
Yeah.
So that would be.
But it was like, you know, this house actually helped inspire them to build their house.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So.
That's kind of cool. So yeah, I guess this is gonna be a kind of a short one because I can't think of anything else that's going on. There really hasn't been much going on. Can you?
Not really. I mean.
Okay.
It's been exciting. I mean, that was pretty exciting for me, but.
It was fun.
Yeah. Anyway, I guess we'll see you guys next week. Do what?
Did you want to flip over and see if anybody has any?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, you know, sorry that we don't have a whole lot to talk about this week. Hopefully that'll change as summer ramps up and we have better weather to be out doing stuff and projects and whatnot. It's just, you know, got to wait out the weather.
Yep.
No better place to wait out the weather than in an Earthship, though.
Yep.
All right. Well, so I guess that's it.
That's it, and I guess we'll see you guys later.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you later with an update on the borax and sugar and the ants. Hopefully after a week we'll have a better update on that. And we'll get that video out of the lettuce so I can eat my lettuce. So we will see you guys next week.
All right, we'll see y'all later.
Bye.
Bye.